All right. Let's continue this premiere train. We had Will's Treasure starting out. We just left the Silver Bull30. What's up, Bully? Now you're here with me, Frostbyte. After we're done here, we're going to continue this premiere train. We're going to head on through Mad Stackers, the man with the plan. From there, we're going to slide on over to GSF, hang out with the Gold Sniping Farmer, visit a little bit of Pistol Packing Pilot. From there, we're going to jaunt on over and say how do you do to our brother Ringmaster Ray. And then what would it be without wrapping up the premiere train with the one, the only, the fabulous Bitcoin crew. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Frostbyte. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be talking about varieties today. Now, if you were watching earlier in the week, you saw me, Miss Coin Crew, Paula from Live Coin Q&A, and Ida Herring performing a coin battle. It's a penny wheat search. And we had 20 rolls and we were looking through some items. And what happened was during that coin search, I found a variety. Now, I found a specific variety that happened on a 2009 cent. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you this particular item. And that is right here. So now, excuse me, that's right there. Now, most of you know this as a 2009 formative years. Now, what I don't know is I don't know which attribution to give this. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to take a minute while I'm looking through the attribution, trying to identify what specific double die this is. Obviously, I know it's a DDR, but I don't know which one. So I need to identify which one it is. So I'm going to be looking at the die markers that are there. I'm going to be looking to find out what specific double die I have here on the thumb. Looking at examples, I've got 3 different sources that I wanted to share with you, but this is what I wanted to walk through. So if you're ever looking varieties, if you're ever trying to identify what you need to do to be able to identify a variety or look for these items, hopefully this video helps you out and is able to kind of set you up for some success. So the first thing you want to do is you want to have a good image. Now, I don't have a great scope. I have terrible lighting, but this gives me a really good idea right here of what I'm looking for. So if you're looking at this item and you're kind of looking at, and I have to sit over here, if you're looking at how the doubling comes off the thumb, it's going to be crucial when you're looking at the images to identify that very carefully. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my screen up here. I'm going to go ahead and throw this over here on the side, and you can see that I already have a couple of the sites that I'm going to utilize pulled up. Okay, I've got Wexlers, I've got copper coins, and then I've got Variety Vista. Now I'm going to start at Wexlers. And the only reason that I'm going to start at Wexlers is because of the way that they have their page laid out. It's going to be really easy for me to kind of just scroll down through the things and see if there's something that I can see that's very similar. So again, they talk about the item. And so what I'm going to be looking at is I'm going to be looking at these images. Okay, so as you see these images, I'm going to look at the image that I have here, okay, right here above me, and I'm going to look at that image and say, does that match? And I'm going to say, nope, not quite. It sits a little bit lower. It kind of comes off that cusp of the hand. It's not exactly the same. What I can even do to make it a little bit easier is I can shift that image to where the hand is at about the same place. Now, that makes the doubling disappear a little bit. Now, I would rather have it sitting here so that you can see the doubling very clearly, because this is going to give me a better reference. So you may not have the exact same point of reference in the photo, but you get a pretty good idea of what you're looking at. So as I scroll down, I'm going to be looking at, and I'm going to see this one. Now this one is DDR2. When I look at it, yeah, it kind of has the same thing. But again, you can see that it kind of comes off of the thumb and it bubbles down. Mine doesn't bubble down, mine shoots straight across. So I'm going to come back down to the next one. That clearly is not it. I'm going to come here. No, doesn't really look like it. Yeah, it does shoot straight across, but mine doesn't have the little notch down here like this one has. It's just not quite the same. So I'm going to scroll down to the next one. That's definitely not the same. You don't see any doubling here in this particular item. So as I come down here, nope, still don't see it. As I look through this particular one, no, still don't see that particular doubling. You know, again, and this is just kind of looking through these particular items to see if you can find one that looks similar to the one that you have. Now, this one is pretty good. It looks kind of glumpy down there, so it's kind of close, but it's not exactly the same. Okay, now here we are. So we have DDR number 16. Now, if you look at the cross references, okay, you can utilize this cross reference to check some of the other ones. You're going to have the Crawford, Kaneka, Copper Coins, Cherry Picker's Guide. You're going to have the Potters. So if you look at this particular one, and again, you'll look at the doubling that I have here, they're pretty similar, right? So what I want to do is I kind of want to look at the information here and see if I have some of these items. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to look and see, okay, so if we go over to Liberty, and this is going to tell me that it's on the obverse, so I need to flip this coin over, and I need to look at the obverse. So I'm going to slide the obverse over here, and I'm going to navigate over to Liberty. So the first thing is there a die crack that runs off of Liberty? Now, I do not see a die crack there. I don't see anything that comes off of Liberty. You can see those little die scratches, the little they kind of run east to west or southwest to southeast. I do see a little bit there, but there's no die scratch there, so I don't see that there. So let's go ahead and look at stage B. There is a die crack with a die chip that runs through the southwest for the hair on the upper back of the head. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to look at that, and I'm going to see if I can see anything here. And actually there is. So I'm going to grab my mouse, and if you look right here in this area, you're going to see a kind of a die crack that runs across here. Now you see these scratches here. This looks like it's actually been polished or maybe taken care of. You can see that this area right here has been kind of removed. You can see them all the way through this coin. Most likely this is kind of a later die state. I want to keep that in mind, but you can kind of see that running right down through here. Now that's going to be important because it looks like we might have this, but what I want to do now is I kind of want to look and see if I can retrospectively check these against one of the other ones. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on Copper Coins, and I'm going to go ahead and search 2009. This is a Philadelphia mint. I'm going to be looking for a double die reverse, and then I'm going to come down here and submit search. Now, when I come over here, this is going to tell me what number I need to be looking for. So I'm going to be looking for 1DR number 82. So when I come down here, I know I probably need to get to number 8 or 9. So that's 71. Scroll down, that takes me to 80. So I'm going to have to go over to number 9. Here's number 82, and I'm going to look at that. And again, when we look at what I have here, I'm going to flip this coin back over. I flip this coin back over, and I'm looking at that doubling on the thumb. Again, let me get that lighting down. And lighting and position make all the difference in the world. Okay, there we go. And you can see that it's very similar here, right? So it's pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and click down here and get some more images. And then I'm going to be looking for some items. So there was the die crack that I saw coming off the W on the obverse when I looked at it earlier. Now this one doesn't show the die scratches that come across here. They'll maybe look like it was a polished die or something. But let's see if we can see that on this. So if we come over here, we're looking at the die crack. We're looking at the shirt. We don't actually see the die crack there, so I'm not seeing the die crack in this area. I do see something down here, which looks like it could be just this area over here, but it doesn't exactly look the same, so I can't necessarily use this marker. But I do have basically 2 markers, so I think I have the right one. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to Variety Vista. I'm going to go ahead and look at the DDR listings. Now, when you're looking at this, this is early, I can't remember what that's called. This is the formative years, this is the professional, and this is the Washington, professional lawyer, and then Washington. You come down here and click on this one, 803, 802, 807. So here's 807. So let's go ahead and click on that. And here we're going to see some additional images. And when you look at this image, and I'm going to slide this one back over so that you can see that again. Okay, so you're seeing that, that doubling there on the thumb. You can see that they pretty closely match. So there's a couple things. There's the die crack again. Now, when I look at this one, this more represents the one that I have. Now, the copper coins show a mulch bulbous die chip there. This one doesn't show that same one. So if I come over and I look at this particular shoulder, and I look at that area, this die chip here looks more like what I have here. So this is a better representation of that. So now if I go to the obverse and I look at the forehead to see if it's got the one there on the forehead, I do not see the ones on the forehead, but again, you see these lateral scratches in here that are not on this particular image. So while it looks like it should be here, this is probably a later die state, and I don't have that same exact variety. So some of the markers are slightly different, meaning that I probably don't have a stage B. I probably either have stage C or stage D. Now there's no information in here. So if I wanted to provide this to Copper Coins or Wexler or something like that so that they could put that information in there, I can do that. We'll talk to Eric about this, but again, you should be seeing a die crack. It looks like there's kind of a residual piece right here. It's very difficult to see, but again, you can see what looks like polish marks on this to kind of eliminate some of these particular items on this die. So I would guess that it's a later die state. Well, I hope this helps. So I'm going to call this one SF802. If I look at this one, the number for the this particular one is going to be WDDR16. So if you're looking at doubledie.com Wexlers, that one's going to be WDDR16. Or if we're looking at Copper Coins, it's going to be 1DR82. Or if we're looking at the Cherry Picker's Guide or the Variety Vista, you're going to see that this is FS807. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you found that useful. Again, you won't necessarily always see exactly, but as long as you see the doubling and can validate the doubling, then you're more than halfway there. All right, so where are we heading now? We're going to go to our man. We're going to get back on this Premier train. All aboard. This stop is done. We are heading to Mr. Mad Stackers. Everybody, the comments in the description below. We're going to put that information down there in the chat. I hope you have a good day. Enjoy, be well, be blessed. Frostbyte.